Hey y'all, welcome back.
I'm Stacie.
I'm Tom and we're RV America, y'all. We're here on a beautiful Sunday morning in the middle of nowhere, Montana, on a ranch. So, we're winging it.
And oh my gosh, y'all, yes, this is a beautiful place. You should have seen the sunset last night. Oh, just incredible. Big sky country for sure. But you know what? In this life, things don't always go as planned. And if you've been with us for a while, you know that from time to time, we do have some curveballs thrown at us. Not a lot of them bigger than what we've just had come at us. And so that is going to be the topic this week. But before we get into that, let's quickly review the rules of Wingin' It. We set the timer on my phone for 10 minutes, we talk about the topic, and when the timer goes off, we wrap things up. This is completely unedited, unscripted,
and you get what you get.
So, 10 minutes on the clock, we're winging it. So, yeah, you know, just like everybody's life, sometimes things don't go as planned. Sometimes things come out of the blue and really kind of slap you back into reality. And that's what we're going through right this minute. We are coming up on 6 years of living in the RV full-time. November 3rd will be our 6th Nomadiversary.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
And in that time, for the entire 6 years, we've used Escapees in Livingston, Texas as our legal address. It's on our driver's license, it's on our voter registration, it's on our vehicle registration. We use that address for everything, even though it's just a green file folder. It works for everything, and we've had zero issues up to now. We've recommended it to a ton of folks.
Yep, but 2 days ago, things took a drastic change. And that's where the reason why we decided to do this Wingin' It this Sunday, because, you know, if you're thinking about the nomadic lifestyle, you're going to have to be thinking about things like Escapees. And, or if you're already out there and haven't gotten this email and you have a Livingston address, well, guess what, guys? It might have just changed. Yep. The email we got 2 days ago said that our address that we've had for really over 6 years, because we got it before we went full-time, has changed. And they said the post office...
Not that it will change.
No.
But it has changed.
It has changed. And they said the post office decided to tell them that they had to simplify it there in Livingston, so everybody at Escapees there has to have the same basic address.
The same street address.
101 Rainbow Drive is what the new address is, and then you have your P.O. box or whatever, or your box number on the end of it, and you have to have that. But, you know, that sounds like, oh, okay, that's not that big a deal.
Yeah, in fact, Tom called Escapees the next day to say, wait, what?
Yeah,
our address has changed? What does this mean?
Just an email to us, but guys, what that means, everything for us has to change. It's just like we totally moved.
Yeah.
Because we have to change our driver's license, we have to change all of our insurance, banking, every single thing.
All of our vehicle registration information.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it seems like a simple thing, no big deal, but for us, we're not physically in Livingston, Texas. So to change all of these things is going to take some doing on our part.
And we're not going to be there anytime soon. It's not like we could just stop what we're doing and go to Livingston.
Right.
I mean, because that would be giving up a ton of reservations, money, lost money,
right,
and a lot of money to go down there and then try to get back. I mean, what a nightmare. This is not something we ever saw coming. And, you know, so, and another thing that comes up, it's very interesting timing, but we have a major election coming up. we were about ready to request our mail ballot so we could vote. And now, which address do we use? I mean, our voter registration is the old address.
Right.
So now we have our new address, so
is that still a legal address?
Is it valid? Is our vote going to count? I mean, these are the things.
Political.
We're not trying to be political.
Don't go there. That's not what this is about.
No, but we want our vote to count.
Right.
And now, you know, I'm not positive because we can't just get our address changed legally. We won't be able to probably get it changed legally.
Well, the address has changed.
Well, the address, I'm saying for us
but
as a permanent address on our driver's license and all those things.
Right.
And then to be able to get it changed with the voter registration before the deadline doesn't seem
likely.
So for us...
Because we might be able to change it online. I'm looking into that.
Yeah.
But, you know, still, we'd have to change that and then change the voter registration. And, you know, it's like this whole domino effect of what needs to happen. And so we're down a rabbit hole right now because this hit us right as the weekend was coming on.
Right,
so we're trying to figure out.
So that's why we're a little late on this video today.
Right.
And hopefully we get it to upload. If it does, Starlink played a major role, which, yes, we are Starlink users.
Not sponsored.
No, but it has been good for us. Hopefully it works out today. But here's things that we got going through our mind, because now, if we're going to have to change that address and everything, well, we own property, people, as you all know, in Florida, because we own a lot at an RV resort in Florida that we can domicile at. And if we change to that, that's nothing that's going to change. And I mean, that is a solid piece of ground that we'd have a lot more solid base as a domicile.
Well, because here's the question for us. We never saw this coming, like Tom said.
No.
We never expected. We've had zero issues using that address for 6 years. Now suddenly it has changed, and we're going to have to change everything. We're going to have to get new driver's license and all that stuff like we've already talked about. We have friends who have domiciled through other cities and things over the years who have run into issues with using their domiciled full-time RVer address for different types of legal things like voting or on their driver's license or things like that, because in some cases it becomes seen as just like a P.O. box, which is technically what it is.
Yeah.
We live in a green file folder, I like to say. We haven't had those issues, but if now the post office is coming in and saying, okay, no, we have to change your address and it needs to be streamlined and it needs to be this and that, what's to say that we jump through all these hoops and then another year or two down the line it changes again and they say, well, no, that's a P.O. box, it's not really a physical address, so now it doesn't count as a legal address. I hope that never happens.
Yeah.
That would affect a lot of travelers.
Yeah.
But who's to say it wouldn't? So we have considered in the past, since we've bought this lot, making it our domicile, since it is a place that we physically own property.
And we pay taxes.
And we pay property taxes there. But honestly, we were born and raised in Texas, and it's hard to take, you can't take the Texas out of us. So it just seemed strange to us changing to a Florida domicile, which, if you're not from Texas, that may seem odd, but if you're from Texas, you probably get it.
Yeah.
But, maybe it makes sense because it is a physical piece of property. It could never be construed as just a P.O. box. Maybe that's, since we're going to have to go through all this, maybe that's the better way to go. So that has sent us down a rabbit hole again of we've never we've considered it, but we've never really done the research of what that would mean for us in changing to a Florida domicile. So we would love, if you are a full-time RVer, if you have been a full-time RVer,
or maybe you just live in Florida too.
Right, if Florida is your home, if Florida is your domicile, we would love your input on why you chose that, how it's worked out for you, any tips that you can share, any experiences that you can share about using Florida, being a home base in Florida of any kind. We'd love your feedback.
Which, of course, we know the tax advantages and all that. Texas has that same thing. We also know the advantage of your driver's license in Texas. You've got to have we got to have a special thing on it for driving a vehicle over 26,000 pounds. In Florida, we don't. But the things we don't know in Florida is health care. What are the viability of getting health care at an affordable rate?
Not Medicare, because we're not quite there
Yeah,
yet.
we're not quite there. And can we go out of the state of Florida? Is the insurance good out of the state of Florida? To let you know, our Texas insurance is horrible. It's good in Houston, basically.
Right. Houston Metro.
Houston Metro, and it's good in emergency situations outside of Houston and Texas, but nothing else.
Right.
So we're hoping that might be an improvement. We don't know for sure. So we want to hear, we'll finish this question up. But so we're really wondering about that. And yeah, does anybody out there have experience on that? And that could be of a lot of help for us, because yes, we're strongly considering changing our domicile. We don't have to do it like tomorrow, but it's got to be soon, because we have to make all these changes. For the record, we put in now for our mail ballot, so hopefully we can get that and go ahead and vote before all this takes place. So hopefully our vote will count. I mean, that's what we're hoping.
But I would love your comments on domiciling in Florida. Like we said, if you're not comfortable with leaving that information in a comment, you can go to our website, rvamericayall.com, click on the contact page, and send us an email. So it'd be a private communication. But we would really love your feedback and your advice here, because we are really in a quandary, ooh, fancy word, on what to do here. So that has really kind of brought us to a point where we're, okay, what do we need to do? We feel like we need to really make a decision fairly quickly.
And we're here in the middle of nowhere. It's, you know, we got to make this decision so when we get to Florida or when we get to Texas, we can make these changes.
Right.
And
either way, changes are coming for us.
Right, but change is coming. And change is inevitable if you're a full-time RVer.
Right.
I mean, but this isn't one of them that we expected to slap us in the face right now.
And we know that in Texas, nothing would change per se. You know, we're still Polk County, it's the same location, it's just a different street address. So
if we stayed.
Right, if we stay Texas, taxes don't change. We know exactly what we're facing, but we still have to go through all those hoops, even though nothing has physically moved.
And knowing that maybe something in the future could change there.
Right.
Where in Florida, we know if we did change, it would be a more solid base because we own property going forward.
Right. So anyway, we'd love your thoughts. We'd love your feedback. And if you have a Livingston Escapees address, you might want, if you didn't get the email, you need to check with Escapees and see if you're affected, because you may be needing to make changes to your physical address as well.
Yeah.
So that wraps it up. And thanks so much for sticking with us. Sorry this wasn't the travel video you probably expected to see today. It wasn't the video we expected to put out.
No.
But we look forward to joining you again next week. Thanks for always inviting us into your living room, onto your phone, or wherever you take us along. Until next time, y'all, safe travels.
And happy camping.
Bye.
Bye.